The object of Taxi Chronicles is to allow real riders with real stories, share their experience and enhance your life. So sit back and enjoy the journey. We spoke about tan. Obviously India's a lovely country with the sun's powering down.
Yeah.
The first time I went to stay when we got to India, we was in Delhi, we was in this hotel. And I got up early morning, I was going to go for a jog, but I didn't. I decided I was to do some skipping. So I was doing some skipping in the courtyard. And I thought, after 15 minutes or so, I thought, let me go back in. So I came down for breakfast and everybody's finishing up and it's all sitting in the lobby.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, why is everybody sitting in the lobby? Yeah, look, the sun's outside. Why ain't you going to sit out in the courtyard?
I know.
I went outside and the sun just went, what up?
I know.
It just hit me hard to be hey, make some room on the sofa.
I can imagine.
It was
hot.
really hot.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so hot. It was silly.
Yeah.
It was just
pretty unbearable.
Silly heat. That's what it was, and I'll never forget that. That was funny.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So obviously we spoke about that. There's the tanning. There's many people who don't like to tan, and they use. You said
Fair and Lovely.
Fair and Lovely.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain that?
Yeah, in India, I mean, it's still very much a culture where they love fairness, and they use that word a lot. You know, anywhere I go, and they'll be like, "Wow, you're so beautiful and fair," and it's like I'm beautiful because I'm fair. And everyone is striving to be fairer. I remember coming back from being on holiday in Greece, and I was quite tanned, and I went back to India, and my helper actually was like, oh, you look horrible, what have you done to yourself, you're so dark. And I thought to myself,
did your helper
what?
Dark?
Yeah, and she's very dark, and she's kind of a bit Aboriginal looking as well. She's from a tribe in eastern India, quite an interesting look I think she has. No, and she's very dark, and I've always loved her skin. She's had the softest skin, and I've always, since I was a little girl, stroked it, and she was like, don't be ridiculous, it's horrible, and
self-hate.
Oh yeah, and people are desperate to be fairer, and even in educated societies, it's all about being fair. They might not openly use Fair and Lovely other communities do, but they will openly not sunbathe, not go in the sun. They will, comment on someone's kind of colour and tone, and it's all within Indians. I mean, they're not commenting on other races. They're kind of she's a fair Indian, she's a darker Indian, and people in the south of India are darker than people in the north. Exactly, yeah, they're a lot darker. So I think
super healthy, the ones that are dark.
They do, and they are super healthy. I mean, it's kind of confusing, and as you said as well, that all the people that we see that are Indian, maybe Bollywood actresses and actors, they're all quite fair, and that is who their role models are, and they really look up to them.
It's funny because it seems like everywhere the British went, they left that stigma, because we have that issue in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
There's that issue in a lot of places in Africa.
Yeah.
But the only group of people I know who are the black people who do not have that stigma is Sudan.
Really?
The darker you are,
the more beautiful.
Because they see you as more stronger.
Right.
And stuff. So it's very fascinating.
Yeah, no, it is really interesting. And I do think, obviously, the British colonial rule had a big impact on that and on how Indians view themselves and beauty standards, but also just the Western world is what they idolize even now. They watch Western movies and see famous people, and that's what they want to be. And yeah, they're just shocked by anyone not wanting to be as kind of fair as possible. And it is.
You spoke about
strange.
When you was getting a massage.
Yeah, and this happens all the time. Every time I go to this salon for anything, I was having a pedicure, I said on the other day, and he started to scrub my legs, and he was like, I'm de-tanning you. I was thinking, anyway, I was very pale. I only wanted to be more tan. And he was scrubbing my legs and taking off any, and I told him, you know, please, no, like, don't do that. I'm more than happy and I want it. And he just thought I was absolutely insane and looked at me and really started to laugh when I told him that, you know, people in the West like put fake tan on. He just could not believe that there was such a thing. Even when sometimes I have like, I go for a wax, they're like, yes, finally you're going to be clean. You're going to be clean. And I thought, what do you mean clean? I'm not dirty. And they're like, your tan will come off. Your tan will come off. And so it is really, really crazy that these standards are still there. And I think now lots of Indians are trying to fight them and change them, but it's still very prevalent.
It's the old school mindset. Will linger around like a bad smell.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I've got a kind of question for you. So I had a debate with my 17-year-old daughter, as you do.
Yeah.
And what we were speaking about, tanning. Do people of colour tan, or do we go back to our original colour?
Right.
Because we're built for that climate.
Yeah.
So even though I'm born and bred in England, my features are built for hot climate.
Yeah, sure.
Large nostrils to vent my brain, curly hair to protect the sun from my head, from the skull overheating.
Yeah.
When obviously a European person, white European, small nostrils to retain the heat in your head, long hanging hair to protect you from the harsh elements of the sun and the wind and the rain.
Right.
And stuff like that. So what would your opinion? Do you believe that people colour tan, or we just go back to our own colour?
I think there can be a mix. Like, I think, you know, some people do tan and get darker, and that can kind of be unhealthy. But of course, some people who are living maybe not where their ethnicity is, they maybe just go back to their original colour. And some people are fairer than what they are supposed to be. No, definitely. But I do think there's a mix. Like, I think, you know, my natural colour when I'm in India is slightly different to my natural colour when I'm here.
Yeah.
And I think...
But the beauty of you're not disrespectful, it's like a hybrid.
Yeah.
And you've got the ability for both.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, it's like my situation, even though I've got some white in me and some Asian in me from the whole slave trade.
Yeah.
The manifesto is just black.
Right.
So I would just probably lean on the side of going back to the original colour.
No, it makes sense. And I think that's why for different people it would be different, and that really makes sense, especially when your features are kind of made for the habitat that you're originally from. And I think that is the case with a lot of people.
We hope that episode enhanced your life. We post an interview every day, as well as vlogging on our social media channels. Don't forget to subscribe to get our latest episode.